Saying, trying to take pictures of this thing. We are in full totality now. You can see these streams coming off of the moon. Jordan, if you would look up at the sky, this is absolutely incredible to see for myself. We're about a minute through totality. This crowd just erupted when it went total. You can see the planes, you can see stars in the sky. This is an unbelievable experience. You can see the planes as they're crossing right in front like it's night. The temperature has dropped between maybe 5 and 10 degrees. This is absolutely amazing to witness. I've never seen anything like this.
David Dvorkin, go ahead. Explain what we're seeing right now.
Well, we're looking at a number of images from the beginning and the end of totality. And we are seeing the crest of the sun coming back here on the right-hand side. And the left-hand side, as they're zooming in, we still see full totality with the corona easily visible. That's
so the sun is beginning to come through in Lincoln City, Oregon, but in Salem, it's total over there.
That's right.
Wow! That is absolutely incredible. As it passed totality, this crowd just erupted. That diamond sort of light just glinting off the side of the moon. Absolutely brilliant. And now it's starting to get light again here. This is the weirdest night I have ever seen. Excuse me. So, what was it like?
It was amazing, unbelievable, and it got dark and cool, and the stars are starting to come out, and I don't know, it was just amazing.
How do you describe this quality of light we're experiencing right now?
Almost like the atmosphere just makes you feel light and happy. I don't know, it's just amazing.
It's a completely different feeling. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
You can't look at it now without wearing your shades, your special solar shades. But just an incredible experience here. The crowd here clearly got everything it wanted. You could literally see that corona and those streams coming off of the sun as the moon passed in front of it. Incredible. Wolf.
So it's 10:20 a.m. over there on the Pacific time where you are, Miguel. During that 2.5 minute period, it got very dark there, right?
It got very dark. You could see planes flying in the sky like you would see at night, them blinking along. You could see stars out. I was listening for crickets, but the crowd was cheering too much to hear crickets. But clearly, it was a weird, very strange, weird moment. Even now, the quality of light is very, very strange out here. It's like somebody's taken a gray shield or something and just sort of hung it over the sky, because it just feels very, very gray and sort of odd out here still. That time of totality, it also got very cold, or cooler, about between maybe 5 and 10 degrees cooler out here. Incredible how much just that little bit of sunshine going away like that quickly affected the temperature and sort of affected everybody here. Wolf?
And during that 2.5 minute period, Miguel, you could also see some other stars.
Oh yeah, you could see, I don't know if they were, I'm not as good an astronomer, I don't know if you could see planets or stars, but you could definitely see several sort of bright objects in the sky. They may have been planets. I know that some of the planets you can see apparently when it goes to full corona, but you could literally see several stars in the sky. The planes you could see everywhere. It was literally day turning into night. As cliche as that sounds, it was really incredible. You can see why 1,000, 2,000 years ago, when this would happen, people might think, oh, the gods may not like us. Today, the weather gods are certainly shining on us, and it was a perfect day here in Oregon.
I'm glad there were no clouds that would disturb what all of you were experiencing. David, you were saying that what they saw, other planets.
Oh yeah, Venus was just west of the sun, very prominent, and certainly brighter stars. You can see, it takes a while for your eyes to get totally dark adapted, but in that minute or two, you can get dark adapted enough to see dozens of stars and even sense their colors. There are differences in color. But it was Venus that I'm sure they saw that was just west of the sun, in front of the sun.
We were watching it, you and me, on this big screen TV. It's one thing to see it on a TV. I assume it's a totally different thing to see it in person.
I'm afraid so, but it took me back. It took me back. Once you see one, it's indelible. It's always there. I mean, it was 30 or 40 something years ago I saw my first eclipse, and it's still, I can remember that moment of turning my head skyward at totality and just experiencing a surreal but permanent, indelible impression.
Chris Hadfield, you're a former commander of the International Space Station and astronaut. Just watching it, as we all were, what was it like for you to see that total eclipse?
It's just really cool, Wolf, to think that the United States is being followed by a moon shadow right now. It's racing across at 2,000 miles an hour across the country. And high up in the air, there are two NASA pilots and two NASA engineers in a WB-57. They're going to chase it, try and keep up with that high-speed moving shadow and take pictures, not just in visible light, but with other type of sensors to get as much information as possible, chasing that rare ethereal racing shadow across the country. It's an amazing moment. Physically beautiful, but scientifically fascinating.
And you think that there will be some important science, potentially, some lessons that we will learn from this experience?
Oh yeah, to try and understand the basic solar physics, to try the field that we're seeing when the moon is blocking the sun is the ionized gas, the plasma field around the sun. That's kind of the whole key idea of how we're maybe generate power in the future with fusion reactors, to try and understand how does plasma actually behave? How does the sun do that? How does it create fusion and generate all of that power? And this gives us like a window of insight that we can't get any other way, especially right close to the surface. Pretty interesting scientific day.
Yeah, very interesting. And Scott Hawley, you're a professor of physics. What was it like for you to experience, at least from the TV screen, that total eclipse?
Oh, that was so beautiful. That was incredible to be able to see the prominences and see the corona come out like that. That was incredible. And here at the studio, I checked to make sure that I hadn't screwed up the time somehow and was stuck inside. But yeah, we've got another hour here in Nashville, thankfully, so we'll get to see that. That was incredible.
It certainly was. And on the left, David, I just want to point out that we're seeing it's leaving Oregon right now, moving across the country, heading next towards Idaho. You see what's happening in Haley, Idaho right now, and that whole path across the United States is going to be amazing.
That's right. At every single point on the path, they're going to experience what they experienced in Oregon. And that was going through my mind. It was just an amazing realization to see so many people are going to get a chance to see this incredible apparition.
And that path is 70 miles wide.
Approximately.
Yeah. Well, let's say you're 80 miles away from it, or 90. You'll still experience a lot of it.
Well, you certainly get close enough to maybe getting that bead effect, but not the full totality, not the corona. That you only get in totality.
Because here and where we are in Washington, D.C., we're going to experience about 80% of that eclipse. So what will that be like?
Well, there may be some perceptible change in the color of the sky. Probably not, because the air is so humid today that we wouldn't, sense any kind of temperature change. But just being able to see it and enjoy it, I think, is a tremendous triumph.
But even if you're outside that 100% totality, you still have to take the precautions with the special glasses.
Oh, especially.
Yeah.
Especially. The moment of totality is the only time you can take your glasses off. Any other point, when you're partial phase, you must use those glasses.
That's very important, especially young kids are going to be going outside.
Absolutely.
And their teachers, their parents got to tell them, be careful, don't look up at the sky.
Right, and as one of our educators says, when you put those glasses on, put them on looking down, and then look up. And then when you are finished looking up, look down, and then only then take the glasses off.
And these glasses, everybody, a lot of people have gotten them, but apparently there's some that are sort of fake and they're not really effective, right?
They're not as efficient in blocking the light, and it's hard to tell which is which, and you just can't test it with your eyes. But yes, older style glasses like this sometimes let in a little bit too much infrared, a little bit too much ultraviolet. And then there might be ones that are totally bogus. I hope not.
I think there are. Unfortunately,
No,
we've been seeing some of those reports.
I'm really sorry
and that's
to
a
hear
very
about that.
dangerous situation.
Absolutely.
Because that could really screw up your eyes for a long
Absolutely.
time. We've interviewed people who did observe an eclipse. They didn't have the right glasses. They were 16, 17 years old, and then 40, 50 years later, they still have little spots.
Yeah,
that
I
they
mean,
see
you don't feel it. You
Yeah.
don't feel the burn.
for a while.
No, you don't until it's too late.
Yeah, that's why you got to be really careful as this total eclipse is going across the United States. Just saw it in Oregon, now moving towards Idaho, going to be heading towards Missouri, all the way down to South Carolina. This is going to be a wonderful 2-hour experience for so many people. So Chad, for viewers here in the United States and around the world who are just watching, as we're watching right now, walk us through what's happening right now and what is about to happen.
NASA.gov has a great little program you can take a look at right here, moving right over the western edge of Idaho. But the beginning of the new solar eclipse for Nebraska is now coming almost to Omaha, into Des Moines. It is leaving now the other side there on the Pacific Ocean, getting larger and larger. The sun now coming back. You can follow this black dot all the way across the country, all the way to Charleston. I suspect we'll have some rain delays or rain problems across